Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, the UPF4. What's up, composer gangs? So now we're gonna make a different type of video. Now we're gonna react to some film music from the Philippines. So, any thoughts or expectations for the music?
Because I always have these expectations with the golden era of Filipino music sa films.
Yeah.
And those new ones na, because today in this world, in these modern times, they will just always recreate some songs, then some soundtracks, palagi na lang nila nire-recreate at the same time. So, that means nawawala yung creativity, nagiging recycling thing na lang siya. But back then, in the Filipino film music, they were crazy. I heard they were crazy. I've heard them in multiple films. FPJ. FPJ noon na. And then some other films as well in the old days.
So mostly rin pala sa mga pinili kong mga music, merong mga iba rin na medyo modern music. Hindi lahat like parang hindi lahat puro mga old music, mga old movies, pero yung halos yung mga napili kong music is on those side, like mga golden old films. So bale, yung mga ibang composers din dito hindi ko rin alam kung sino. We're just gonna react kasi kami rin halos we're dreaming to be like a film composer in the near future. Also, Miko dream to be a film composer in the future. So, let's jump straight with it. So, we're gonna react on, hindi ko sure kung ito yung title, pero I don't know if this is a film or feeling ko teleserye lang ata to or whatsoever. Pero it's by Len Calvo and the title of the music is Sound of Doubt. Okay, let's just listen. It sounds like Wagner.
Yeah,
It sounds like Wagner. I think the title of the film or series is Green Bones.
Yeah,
It's literally says it here. Any thoughts?
It sounds like, I agree. It sounds like Wagner. Yung Tristan.
Yeah, it sounded like Tristan Isolde. What the? It's really sounded like. We forgot this is gonna be like so very copyrighted. So please subscribe, everyone. Please subscribe. This is gonna be like copy strike all the max.
Let's just keep pausing.
Yeah, we're just keeping pausing it because
And then we're just recording at like a little watermark
Yeah.
or something.
Ooh, what is that? C sharp.
Yeah.
Pure atmosphere.
Yeah, it's great atmosphere.
Yeah, that flat nine. Six eight. Or 3/4. Triangles.
Yeah, it sounded like very cinematic, dark cinematic music.
Yeah, it's like it started to investigate some sort of thing.
And hindi namin alam kung anong context ng film na to or...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's crunchy.
I guess that's it. That's
Nice
Sound of Doubt
Nice.
by...
That's the nice C sharp minor and
Yeah.
That's Sounds of Doubts by Len Calvo. I think it's very nice.
I think so too. It's very nice.
Maybe hindi ko lang alam kasi yung context na nangyayari sa film or series nito.
It's difficult to connect without knowing.
Yeah, without knowing. But it sounded nice though.
She really fit the vibe and the overall aura of this film composition. It's like, with this added percussions that makes it.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Crunchy harmonies. Pretty consonant most.
We
the
can
time.
cope with that.
We can cope with that.
Yeah. Okay. Next, this is a very iconic one in the Philippines, Himala by Nora Anor. So I don't know who was the composer in this film, but the one who directed this film is a national artist. Yeah. Okay, here's it, Himala. Any thoughts?
Very
That's
C minor.
very, very serious
That
start.
sounds so
Very
vintage.
serious
Yeah.
That sound.
Yes! The harmonic. The harmonic minor.
Whoa!
Let's go melodic.
So I'm guessing this is like halo-halo ng bands. Feeling ko may orchestration dito because I'm hearing a bass guitar.
Really?
Yeah, they have this
You hear?
vintage band settings.
Probably back in the 80s.
Back in the 80s. And then the very classical
Yeah,
way
tas
of
more
writing.
more orchestration pa.
Orchestration, yeah.
All those
full-on
kind of stuff.
orchestration.
Yeah, that bass.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah! That's right.
They
Yeah.
even use harmonization well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's the composer? I need to see the composer.
Nelson, Bach!
Ah.
Oh, I didn't know Bach would be in this film.
He must be pretty old.
Oh, Winston. Oh, he was a composer. I don't know him. Well,
First time I've heard.
I never knew who this composer. But the music is by Winston Raval now.
Good impression. Good first impression.
That harmonics and that violin, bro.
Yeah.
Was that a vocal?
It sounds like
Can I hear it again?
It sounds.
that can't be a wind.
That's so expressive.
Yeah. I feel like it's a vocal with a ton of effects.
Yeah, I think it's a vocal. It's just like the quality is a bit sus.
Yeah.
It's the quality. That bass.
Is it a synth?
Or yeah, maybe it's a synth that you can,
Vibrato.
Yeah, I think it's a synth. Oh,
because synth already exists at this time.
it's a synth. Oh,
Yeah, it's a synth.
pagpapakinggan mo ng mabuti.
Oh!
Whoa!
Okay. What in the whole tone?
Yeah, it's on whole tone. Okay, that's like the prologue of the movie.
Yeah,
That's all. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's so. This is what I'm talking about. Like the music, the writing of the music back then is so skillful to the point that it's the classical elements and the technical aspect of the writing is still there
Without any bias.
without any bias. Like
Yeah.
I know kasi ngayon in this world parang minimalist na lang yung naging turn. I think it's just the genre of things na nag-change, but I in my personal point of view, in a very subjective way, wow.
Wow.
Like
Wow.
those string parts, they love using those string parts.
Yeah,
It's a cello.
Laging
just-
simula. So cello, the strings, background strings.
Yeah, the strings is just doing some sostenato. Sostenato, what's the meaning of sostenato?
Sustain.
Yeah, it means
Yeah,
sustain. Like those sustaining notes on the first violin, and I love how it starts sa cello parts kasi it expresses the deep grief. This is a C minor pa.
Yeah.
And there's this always na harmonic progression pagdating sa mga
Yeah.
Filipino styles like kasi we originated from what we called kundiman. And that's why
Actually.
our styles back then were very similar to kundiman. And it just became more innovative with
Yeah.
the whole tones.
Again, we don't have any against of the modern music and films. We're just like very appreciative on this kind of type of music that we are hearing now. It's because it's so very like whoa.
Yeah.
Just like we didn't expect to hear it like something like this in film music in the Philippines also. Oh, moving on, we're another old movie starring Charo.
Charo Santos.
Yeah, of course you know this. Charo Santos, the MMK.
Ma'am Charo, put us on your show one day.
Imagine mapunta tayo sa show, tas wala naman tayong conflict or whatsoever. Tapos yung title natin sa dulo. F4. Oh hell no. Kisapmata. Let's jump straight into it. Again, the cello again, bro. It's always the cello starting. Bro, the recording is so... It's just like took in a potato, bro.
I love those high ostinatos. That ostinat.
What the hell are those?
It sounds like a very cursed Celeste.
Whoa.
Very cursed Celeste.
Yeah, it sounded like a glockenspiel or something.
What is that?
Lorrie, Ilustre, you're cool.
Yeah.
We don't know who you are, but this sounds good.
This is
This
big.
fire. Oh, it sounded like Bartok now.
Yeah,
It sounded like
right, yeah.
it sounds like Bartok now.
The first cello part immediately
Oh, no,
Bartok.
no. This sounds like the orchestra.
Yeah.
concerto.
It sounds like that.
Sounds like that.
Whoa! What was that gliss?
What the hell in the chimes is that?
Did this be gliss underneath?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
What's that overtone? Of course.
It's the ding dong.
It's the ding.
It's the ding dong.
You know it's not gonna turn out good when the music sounded like that.
Yeah.
Lorrie Reyes.
That was
That was sick.
Sick. Yeah, it sounded like the late 20th century style.
Very
minor.
yeah, very interesting.
And the parts na parang, I don't know, is it Celeste or Glockenspiel?
Yeah, it's so very high
Yeah.
pitch.
But I love how she turns it na parang negative harmony niya.
Sounded so-
starting from C major, then goes to a negative harmony afterwards.
Yeah. As of for now, I'm hearing like in this kind of films, halos mahilig sila on those strings. They loving the strings to the max.
They're loving this.
And all of those like weird, minsan hinahaluan na rin kasi nila ng mga synths. Because in this era, medyo nagbo-boom na rin halos sa mga synths in that like 80s. And those Glockenspiel or Celeste or whatever that is, that sounded like itchy AF.
Yeah.
So microtone.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, moving on. Let's go with a bit new music from Jerrold Tarog, who directed himself the films and composed the music himself also. That's
Yeah.
very nice. And medyo napakinggan ko na rin halos. I'm just gonna react it with the boys. And I think alam na rin nila kung ano yung expectin. So let's start with the soundtrack of Heneral Luna. Let's go, bro. Piano.
Lots of modal interchange.
It's so like napaka it's royal. Like parang it's
I
very
agree.
proud and fire. It sounded like Luna itself.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a bass. Do you think the instrumentation sounds a bit MIDI?
Well, comment down in the comment section on which composition software did the composer use.
We're not saying it's MIDI, bro, because it sounded like
It sounds very
yeah.
linear.
Is it a cello or something?
I feel like it's a brass. Like a trombone. Trombone. Oh!
Picardy.
I didn't remember that.
Reverse Picardy. Yeah.
Yeah. They're repeating
I like
that
the
same
pedal
motif.
point.
Yeah.
Like that. The S. Oh.
So we are best.
Yeah.
That piano is rocking. Rabatoing.
I hear an F sharp in there.
So that was Heneral Luna. I think it's very like struggles, pride. The color
Yeah,
itself,
it's
it's
like-
fitting.
It's like, a dark hero facing tribulations and all trials, but despite that, he's still standing.
The instrumentation itself, it sounded like what you expect in the 1900s.
They really like their ostinatos.
Yeah, I think on what can I see in film music, halos like na ano lang sila like just sustaining the atmosphere of the music. Because in the film, hindi mo rin ng halos mararamdaman yung music itself in the film. That's why it sounded like you're ganun lang siya. Pure atmospheric lang ang film music. Ganun naman talaga lagi kasi halos ang music naman in some series or films. It's just like your background furniture. All the time, hindi mo naman like mapapansin all the time yung music itself. It's just like it's there. Minsan, there's some other composers na will focus it.
Kasi they will matter more. They will probably focus more on the scene. So
Yeah.
parang nilalanghap lang nila yung
Yeah.
atmosphere. Is stretching out like that, letting all the sounds and instrumentation and parts create all of that aura. And also
Yeah, that
has the,
aura.
Aura.
also has the scent of the music.
And one thing what I really like in film music or any kinds of series is they're giving a motif. Pag may mga story may nangyayari. Just like Berlioz sa Symphony Fantastique, there's fixed motif where bibigay ka ng motif ng music mo that will symbolizes that character whatsoever. And that happens a lot in some series. Imagine mo, there's some Kurt theme. Mas marinig mo yung symphony tune niya. Dun, 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 dun. Tapos,
Hey.
yeah. Imagine, basta ganun, isipin nyo, ganun yung theme ni Kurt. Tapos sa kalagitnaan ng mga mangyayari dun sa film, kunwari merong struggles na nangyayari kay Kurt. You will hear some different music, but sometimes you will hear that motif from Kurt. You will hear the motif. That kind of technique na ginagawa ng mga composers in film music. Ayun yung mga gustong-gusto kong mga ginagawa nila because it sounded really cool. They also uses this in ballet also. Pinaka-greatest part doon, I know it's cheesy, but the Firebird theme or the Infernal Dance part, doon mo na marinig halos lahat ng theme. Each characters in that. And parang pinag-smush lang siya. We're gonna listen to the last part. That was so long. Halos hindi na natin pinag-usapan yung film na nangyari. But the film is very good. Okay, the last one is another Jerrold Tarog movie, Goyo.
My cousin kept watching this.
I wonder why. Yeah, I remember this music. Yeah, that's very epic.
Yeah. They like their pedal tones too.
Because it's film music.
Yeah.
They need to sustain it.
Oh, brass.
Oh, let's go,
brass.
tubas.
Let's go brass section.
I think that's a woodwind.
Whoa! Did you hear that? Is that a chromatic one or the vocalist?
I think they're harmonic. They're doing harmonics, but with the gliss. Also.
Harmonic gliss? Wow.
I think that makes sense because there's an eagle.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah. That's
nice. Nice. I think it's both an acoustic and an electric.
Yeah,
You know what I've noticed? Like, every time the parts goes like this, like going to a new section, going to this, parang it always ends up, there's an introduction of a new scene.
that's nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I like this part.
Oh.
Unresolved. Yeah, it's very nice. That gliss and that harmonics and that string, that's
Yeah.
so
Yeah, it's very
good.
creative.
So, what are your thoughts?
What really got me is the Jerrold Tarog works. When it comes to Heneral Luna, it's really heavy. In Goyo's music, it's like he's just entering for it palang. The music reflects that, yeah, this will be not easy, but you will realize many things that you don't see yet.
And in Luna's case naman, it's just like sounds like you can see that it goes through a lot of
Yeah.
So guys, this is the power of music. You can make a feeling out of the music.
And I think that's the importance of why you need to be really creative with film
Yeah.
composition. You need to fit some certain scenarios, some certain resemblances. You need to know how to really create the aura yourself. Based from what I see, the mindset of film compositions is like the less is more.
Yeah, actually.
I don't know, I can't stop thinking of Kisapmata. The harmonies are just so nice.
The harmonies is very like
I just value musical complexity over stagnant themes and motifs. But I don't think that other films and other than Kisapmata were bad. It's just that they're not my cup of tea. But I would still listen to them if I'm feeling like it. But I would generally just lean towards something like Kisapmata because it's just so orally engaging, I guess.
ang dami pa rin kami for sure mga hindi pa nahahanap ng mga films. Ito pa lang yung mga halos nahahanap ko pa lang.
And if you notice, like, the styles depend on the culture.
You need that.
You need to be culturally context in this one. Kasi if you'd analyze music back then, parang fresh pa kasi yung colonial influences natin. And now that mas naging internationally trained na tayo from different things, and nagbabago na yung mga cultures and context ng stuff. Because of internet as well, because of different ideas from different people who went overseas to get these ideas, mas naging shaped na siya into like what we've heard from Jerrold.
Halos karamihan na kasi ng mga music or OST ng mga series and films. Halos like galing na lang din siya ng mga pop songs. And they're just like recreating it like in a different way. Minsan ginagawa na orchestrational. We're not saying na every series is gumagamit ng mga songs from other artists. Pero there's some other films and series pa rin naman na they're doing efforts to make minsan song or music. Hopefully mangyari pa rin siya. For me lang because I think if gumagamit lang din sila halos ng mga songs from other artists, for me it's just like a bit not productive.
Oh yeah, and one other issue is AI.
Oh my gosh, that's even worse.
That's even worse. Like, never use AI. Kaya, sa mga film industry, music industry out there, please, no matter what the style,
Bro is begging.
like, no matter kung old style ba gagawin nyo, or yung mga bagong style like Jerrold, Tarog, like, please continue the beauty of art ng performing arts sa film and music.
As long as gawa mo, we will appreciate it.
Yeah, like maraming graduates ng UP Diliman, ng UST College of Music.
And a lot of schools.
Yeah, a lot of schools as well, nag-composition majors. Pwede nyo sila kunin. And with professionals around, parang mas maaalam nila kung ano talaga yung dapat na vibe na ibigay sa film na gusto mo talaga.
Yeah, actually.
And not just that, may different perspectives ka pang makukuha sa different artists around na composers and composition majors. So it's very flexible. Not just that, you will also get a good product of film compositions from them.
So we're encouraging you all na sana mapalagana pa ang performing arts in the Philippines. We would love that. I think that's all, guys.
Yeah, that's all.
I hope you enjoy that very lengthy explanation with us. Please subscribe in our channel. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you, guys.